Zoe.
Oh, whoa. Who's that?
Zoe, we have some business to discuss, Zoe. It's been a long while.
Oh God, is that you, Zin?
We haven't made our fucking quota yet, Zoe. We haven't met our quota, Zoe. Zoe.
Oh no.
Zoe, we need to meet it. I give you 2 hours to pump out 30 or else we're not going to be in the top 100. Zoe, the top 100. Okay. That's all that matters, Zoe.
Oh, jeez.
You motherfucker. Zoe. Zoe. Zoe, fucking wake up, Zoe.
What?
Zoe, fucking wake up.
What is it?
We're so fucking late. Zoe, you don't even understand. We blew off the guy 15 times. We have to go to this podcast. We have a podcast. We have to go.
Then,
What?
Okay, I had the weirdest dream, though.
What happened?
I literally dreamed that we were, like, in the back rooms again, and that we were cats, and then you had a baseball bat, like, instead of a gun, though.
Instead of a gun?
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's fucking... Don't stop fucking lying to me. Stop taking ecstasy before the goddamn podcast. We gotta go, dude.
All right, yeah. Let's go do this.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Cool. I'm so fucking ready right now. Are you guys pumped?
Right, cool.
Roll the intro, Caleb. That's not the intro.
I shouldn't have this.
Roll the intro. Can you feel it?
Welcome back to the Amnesia podcast, baby. We got 136 plays total. 26 plays per episode on average. Let's talk about it. 0% ad revenue. $0, baby.
$0, baby. We're in it for the money, though. Yeah.
0 ad rev, baby.
We're in it for the money.
Let's
you
go.
Think otherwise, fuck you. You're fucking wrong.
Yeah. We have new viewers from San Francisco and San Jose too. So
we keep expanding, dude.
Yeah.
Our army.
We're global, by the way.
Our army. We're building.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude,
we're in Belgium, Canada, and the U.S. right now.
How is our pants episode the most famous?
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, you guys are wearing pants?
No.
Was I supposed to wear pants?
I'm pantless.
Oh.
I'm naked.
Are you supposed to?
I'm not even
Yeah!
Is that
Nobody
a normal
said anything.
podcast thing?
Wait, we're getting naked. Oh shit, we bulling, baby boys. Let's fucking get it. Let's fucking yeah!
This guy just ripped off his shirt.
Oh.
There's so much
I don't
about
even
VR.
blame.
I literally don't know.
It's crazy what you can do in virtual reality in terms of like in real life. You know, when you fuck with your friends, you can do whatever, you know, to a certain point. In VR, you can just pull it out, you know, and you're not having a alarm going on.
Oh my god! Turn off.
Just starts casually rubbing the nips.
Fuck. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, not okay.
Dude, I'm actually gonna have to switch into shorts. I've actually been laughing so hard, like I'm like fucking, I'm not with these fucking joggers that I'm wearing. Not with it.
I was gonna say, what are you in joggers? Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. You can be naked while in virtual reality, which is where we're at currently.
Do you wear like thicker joggers, like
just
sweats,
threw
more, or
his
just like joggers, kind of like a little thinner?
He's just
He's just gone. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna introduce everybody right here with the tail. We got random guy.
This is why I love VR, bro.
And this person I'm pointing to right here with the red hair, we got Lex. There we go.
Lex.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And
Wait,
then
I have an applause. Hold on.
All right, we bulling and balling freely.
yeah.
Do with it.
I fucking.
And then we got Minty Dust over here.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Let's get
And
it.
then I'm your
Co-host Zen.
and this is co-host.
Zoe.
I'm co-host Zoe.
What's up, co-host?
We're missing Shukas, but we'll.
Oh fuck, I missed you
I
guys.
know. I miss Shukas too.
Random guy's back, and he's bulling and balling in shorts. We're calling with it, boys.
I'm balling in shorts. You heard it here first.
Yep, 100%.
So random guy is an average virtual reality user. He knows a lot about the VR space and its current
Oh boy.
stance in the real world right now. So it's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Is there anything before we get into like anything specific? Like specific?
serious,
Yeah. Like.
Let's see. VR chat. Okay, so with a lot of things that like as like with VR chat is a lot of people come into it. I guess so we can kind of go over the basics of it if you want me to go over that. A lot of times so VR chat, obviously VR chat is a very social platform, right?
Yeah.
Clearly. We have a group of people that are all like willing to talk and chat and stuff like that. So a lot of people will get into VR chat. They'll be like, "Oh, it's a fun little game where I can go around and fuck around with people and stuff like that." And eventually it starts becoming, like, as stupid as it sounds, it starts coming like more of a lifestyle because you start getting used to like going up, talking to people. You start finding your social cliques. You start like making genuine and real friendships through a virtual space. And so some people that are more on the introverted scale, they can also find themselves really flourishing in a space such as this because that anxiety isn't as heavy in the virtual reality because they don't have to go up and actually like meet people. They can just kind of be in the comfort and safety of their own home while also giving themselves a social experience.
Okay,
So like that's one of those things. And so as you start like throwing more and more time into it, you start finding yourself more and more friends and you start getting way more and more comfortable. And also you can start carrying some of that stuff into the real world, which is why I think VR chat is a fucking awesome place. Plus it's wild. It is absolutely wild and I love it. It's so chaotic.
I just in the small amount of time that I have experienced virtual reality and actual VR, using the Quest 2, which I've heard is benign compared to, you know, like Quest, fucking Steam Deck users and all that, or whatever the fuck it's called. Anyway, I have been having a fucking incredible time. My first like week in VR, you should have seen it. I busted down the fucking living room. Casey was here. I just moved all the couches. Like there was couches on
We
top of
literally
couches.
had a couch
Free
pyramid
space.
going.
It was crazy,
Like,
dude.
yeah.
Oh
It was
hell
such a good
yeah.
time, but
Just for play space. Just for play space.
it was such a good time. I have never drank more alcohol in my life, dude. That was a bad time at the same time for that reason.
We have these friends who would be just
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot. And
fucking
like, I
love
don't know if
that.
that's common in VR, but people love like taking, I don't know if they're actually taking shots,
So-
but I was, so.
I was too.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, so the thing I'm gonna say is that is very common in the VR chat community in general, especially amongst the people that are like, obviously amongst the people that are legal, you'll also find, you know, the average underage person that somehow just yoinked alcohol from their dad's stash or whatever the fuck,
I've
and
heard
they'll be
13
chugging it
year olds
like just with the
drinking.
rest of us.
Yeah.
Or at least
I'm not even
supposedly,
surprised.
and you're like,
whether
oh my
they
God.
are or not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a coin toss whether they actually are or not. But like it is 100% drinking in VR chat is a real thing because like it's a thing that I'm assuming that you're not gonna know about, especially being on Quest. Is there's also clubs. There's drinking, like there's like actual clubs with music, real DJs that all like play full on sets. There's like drinking, like there's drinking worlds where there's like
Yeah. I've been to
drinking
it,
related
yeah.
I
themed
have
games, stuff like that. Exactly.
Very good
So
time.
so like that, yeah, 100% is a real thing. The party scene is 100% real in VR chat, included with like full, like you'll even see during some of the crazy nights, you'll see people in full body dancing in cages on like pole, on like you'll see there's VRC strip clubs, actually real, whole bunch of crazy shit. So yeah, drinking nights are absolutely real thing in this world.
It's such an interesting
great.
thing too. I've noticed when I'm drinking in virtual reality, I just can't tell how drunk I am until I take off the headset. Like it's such a strange.
Oh, you're
feeling.
fucked.
It's so weird because like in VR, I don't know what it is. I just have this fully like responsive equilibrium as I don't when I start drinking in real life. And I completely comprehend everything in, you know, VR space. And, you know, it's still like you're still drunk and buzzed and whatever. But like you take it off and then you like get walking weird. Anyway, it's a fucking nightmare for me to just transition from that and not know about it too. It's such a weird feeling. And it's
Right.
such a strange thing. It's not researched, you know?
No, yeah. I think that would be a really interesting thing to have someone have like a full body rig. That's like the first scientist to do like a full like thing. Okay, here's VR chat, full body rig. We're just gonna have you in here, give you your food, just live for like a month, just like continuously doing whatever. And I've kind of I'm curious as to see what the end result of that research would show.
Yeah, most definitely. And as for the whole like strip clubs, I have been in a club called FBT Heaven, I think is what it's called, and you go in there and there's like literally people with full body tracking gear plus like genuine strip poles in their room where they will fucking go ham and make genuine money. Like I literally saw somebody ask for Venmo payments before they gave somebody else a lap dance in the VR space.
Yep, 100% a real thing. There are people that make legitimate livings being strippers in VR chat. Yeah. I've considered it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% myself. Ooh. Oh, 100% I've considered it.
Lex finna beat you, bro. Like she's fucking.
Yeah, sideways look.
Oh she's just like, I'm sorry.
By the way, for you audio
I considered it for a little bit.
On Spotify, you're welcome to watch this on YouTube, or we're also going to upload it to Spotify with the video on. You just have to, manually go into your phone and watch it there, obviously.
Shout out to Anchor.
Yeah, shout out to Anchor. It's hooked us up with so much. We're not even sponsored by them yet, but we soon will be. Probably after this episode, actually. I think this is the last free episode we're doing.
Yeah, this is the last free episode.
Yeah, pretty crazy shit.
We're getting paid after this.
Yeah, good times.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Congrats, boys. Congrats.
Shout out, Anchor.
Okay.
Big bullin'.
I do have like a strange question. This is a strange field considering in VR space, how do people have sex? Because there's real relationships. So, and
I have a couple questions about this too.
Yeah,
but
that's
go
a
on.
huge special part of the relationship is sexual encounter, of course.
So there's a couple different ways to go about it. So what you're going to be running into is like, so there's a couple ways to go about it. So obviously you guys know about like ERP. You've been in if you've been in like VR chat for like 2 weeks, you hear about ERPing and like obviously so and then you're just like, yeah, exactly. You're just kind of like, you hear about it. You're like, the fuck is that? And they're just like, oh, it's this. And you're like, huh? And so there's like a couple ways on how that works. So it stands for, ERP stands for erotic roleplay for any listeners that don't know about it. So what that does is basically you can either go into specific worlds that have like attachments like dildos, whips, all kinds of stuff. And then, so some people will have, some people in VR have what's known as phantom sense. And what that includes is like, say Lex is my example. So say if I stroke her head, like in game, she can feel that IRL. So like the neurons in her brain fire off a signal, I'm being touched in the head, so she feels it in real life if I like touch her like her arm or her leg or her head. Yeah. That's that can extend. And so there are some people with very mild cases, which is like, oh, you can kind of feel tingles, to full on like phantom sense everywhere. Like you can feel like the differentiating like grip strength, or you can feel like
a person or
per person. Yeah. Okay. So it varies person to person. So some people have it very mildly, and then there are some people that have it full on to the point where they can actually, like, if they're doing ERP, then they can full on feel penetration happen. Wow. And they experience like actual like pleasure and dopamine from that. And so you can actually, so there are things, so like there's like the basic points where you can go like, okay, you can ERP with like, kind of naked avatars, or basically like in underwear, and you have to go for like, all right, this is about where this body part would be, this is about how this would do, so you can go through that. There are certain worlds that have like, have like dildos and attachments, whips and stuff like that, and you can use that. And it obviously will work better with people with phantom sense, like anything from like mild to super strong phantom sense, and that's a lot of times what will happen there. The next step is you go in and either you find a world that is normally like a privated world. You can go in and you can find avatars with different body parts. So you can find avatars with like dick toggle. So they take the pants off and a dick pops out. Yeah, no, 100%. It gets crazier. It gets even wilder.
If there's anything,
I was gonna say
like private part. Like I know there's like the jiggle mechanic on the calcium cannons, but
calcium cannons.
Yeah. The calcium cannons. Yeah. So even better, there's depths to the meat cannon. Then there's whole depths to the sideways tango. So you can obviously get avatars that have you can get avatars that come with just standard, like it's just out and it's at full salute. And then that's it. It doesn't really move, and that can kind of help enhance the ERP a little bit, because now because instead of like, okay, now you have to imagine where it is. Okay, now there's an actual like reference point for people to like perform acts, whether that be like thrusting, like oral, stuff like that. And then it gets even further where you can start purchasing avatars that have a thing called DPS, which is also stands for the dynamic penetration system. And that has things included like orifices, have like the meat cannon with physics that are interactive with the orifices and stuff like that. And so what people will do is they'll have an avatar that you can either buy it with the DPS or they buy the DPS package separately and install it on said avatar. So that way you can toggle orifices, like you can have different like sexual acts happen, including like, you know, the average handy head, you know, any hole that you want. You can put a hole in the fucking back of your knee if you wanted.
Oh no.
Like it really doesn't matter. No,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
But no, so like so that
some weird,
dives it even further. So that makes it dive in even further. So then you can further enhance the ERP from that standpoint. So now like, okay, now there is like physics to ERP. And then some people can take it even further from there. So like say if you're someone that does not have great phantom sense, right?
Yeah.
So say you have one person with great phantom sense, one person without great phantom sense. One way to kind of do that is you can actually go online and you can buy toys that link with each other. So that
I heard about
if one person's thrusting, you can buy one. So if one person's thrusting, I've looked into it just like out of curiosity. It is normally in the hundreds of dollars. It's normally in the hundreds of dollars if you want two toys that will link up with each other.
7, what are we talking?
If you think about a sex toy,
like around 2 to 4.
Okay.
If you think about a sex
$200 to
doll,
$400 for like a
you know,
decent one.
yeah, it's something that you fuck.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of like literally just sex doll. If you fucking have the ability to across the world have sexual encounter with somebody across the fucking world, that's insane to me. That's such an insane concept to,
exactly.
You know, people who haven't heard
that's
about, like,
crazy.
that is literally fucking crazy. That's just crazy. That's crazy that you can do that, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. So like a lot of times, so that's kind of, so this is kind of like your essentially Cliff Notes version of like ERP throughout the thing. So normally like when you're starting out on Quest and you're just like, oh, I'm really horny, but I want this. Normally it'll start out with, okay, you get ERP, you put a controller to the side and you just fucking whack one out while the act is happening.
It's crazy.
Right. And then it can go full on to both have toys, both linked up. You just go to fucking town. And then you can kind of go from there. Or if you both have phantom sense, both of you get full body tracking. Both of you have like ERP with ERP avatars with DPS and stuff like that. And you just go to fucking town. And if that's the case, then that's about as real as it potentially can get without actually committing the act. And obviously you can get things further by like, I was gonna say, no, you're good. I was gonna say, and then obviously on top of that, you can like set up like your toys to be in like specific areas, or you can mount them like on like stands, or you can build like an actual thing to like mimic how things would be going down and stuff like that. So from there, like you can, there is a whole like world, and then there's like obviously worlds you can go to. You can go to like bedrooms. There's like sex dungeons you can get to. There are also some worlds.
That's a thing.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, I don't even know why I'm surprised. That's just that it's crazy to me, you know. Like people don't even have to risk STDs. And
the crazy thing about
stuff.
That's the crazy thing about VR chat is like as we've seen right now, like you guys wanted to do this podcast like in just a world, and I was like, yeah, there's a podcast world, and both of you are like, I'm sorry, what? If you can think of it, there guaranteedly is a world for it. Now there are things where like you can get into like BDSM dungeons, and some of those dungeons you have to be a part of a very specific server. You have to get a code and an invite to get to that world and stuff like that. So you can go like as far as you want if you're willing to do the research for it.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy to me. So is there like a dangerous part of virtual reality where it comes to, which there has to be, it's such a big community in the world.
Yeah, there's like creeps. There's like
creeps,
people
bro.
who are prey. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be way easier in VR chat, I feel like.
I've got stories. I'm sure Lex has got a myriad of stories because she has double my time on VR chat. Alone. She's about 4K hours logged total in like virtual reality in general. I've got about 700. So she's also probably got a pretty crazy amount of stories. But I've got a pretty crazy amount of stories. There is a legitimate problem with grooming in VR chat. A legitimate problem that is like happening. Like, so you will find people that are like, you will find people that are like damn near my age, like 20, 30, and you'll see them talking to 16, 14-year-old girls. And they're just like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. They're just always like, oh, that's cool. How old is she? And they'll be like, oh, she's 16. I'm just like, pause.
Yeah, that's
stop.
Not okay. Yeah.
Everything. Stop.
Pretty fucked.
Everything. They're like, oh no. And they're just like, no. And they'll be like, oh no, it's okay. She's Australian and the age of consent in Australia is 16 or 15. I'm like, that makes it 0 times better. 0 times better.
It's like, I'm legal.
Exactly. I'm just like, you're 27. You've been able to legally drink for 6 years, and you're telling me, oh, it's because she's an Australian and the age of consent there is 15. You think it's okay? It's fucking gross. You guys are in 2 very different parts of your life. If you're horny, just say so. I'm sure you could go to like Just Be Club. You could go to fucking 8. You can go to like, what is it? H Party. What was the one that Swagger Souls went to? Like H Party or something, some shit like that.
Party, yeah.
Yeah, you could go to H Party. You can find a million people that are equally as horny. I'm sure you could go to like any dancing club, whatever. You could find someone equally as horny. You could go to a Black Cat and probably find someone that's closer to your age.
Yeah,
like,
easily, dude. Easily.
But yeah, there's a legitimate grooming problem. There's a legitimate problem though with grooming, and there are 2 sides to it. A, it's portions of like, okay, there are people that are like legal that are just not caring that the person that they're dating or fucking or ERPing with or whatever the fuck their relationship is, and they're just not caring that they're minors. Or it's sometimes it can be the situation of, okay, the minor is not saying their age, and the person that is legal isn't caring, is thinking too much with their dick to care to ask more. Or it's just like one of those things where it's like there's just no age check, and then the person that's not of age is just like, oh, he didn't ask for age, fuck it, we ball. And so it's kind of both ends of the spectrum there, which is kind of like why I myself have now made it like a legitimate thing where like if you're legal, please cover your tracks. Listeners, if you're in VR chat, please, for the love of God, cover your tracks. Always ask for an age check. Like if you're just talking, you guys are you're casually talking. You guys are like, you know, you're hitting it off. You guys are doing good. Like halfway in the sentence, be like, hey, real quick question, just for my safety, can I get an age check? And if they're just kind of like, why does that matter?
Yeah,
cut them off and just assume they're 12 years old.
You know they're overage easily.
Yeah, no, more often than not, I'm like, more often than not, it's my personal rule, and some people get pissy and offended by it. But I'm just kind of like, hey, I'm assuming if you're just kind of like, why does it matter? You're 12 years old, and they'll get pissed as shit about it. And I genuinely couldn't care less, because if you're not telling me I'm 18 years old, at least I'm like, at that point in time, you're a kid. You're 12 years old, and there's nothing you can say about it. You could be 16. I'm like, nah, that's 12 years old to me. I don't care. It's one of those things where like you need to age check. You need like VR chat is like the freest place in the world to be, but you need to have, but at the same time, there's no checks and balances. There's nothing stopping you. Like more than likely, the police are not going to be like perusing VR chat.
Yeah.
Like just to find pedophiles.
That's a lot of resources.
So that's also why there's
too much.
That's another time why grooming is such an issue here.
So I heard about
no one has their own checks and balances.
I heard about a gang or something like that.
That's more of like, oh, go on. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I heard about a gang or something that literally goes after, and it's like a gang of like white hat hackers that will go after pedophiles in VR chat.
Oh, I have not heard about them yet, but that's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
No. So I heard it in a video, dude, and what they do is they'll go and find these people, and then they'll completely dox them after figuring out like, you know, that they're flirting with like fucking, you know, 14, 15, 16-year-olds or whatever, some creepy shit.
Anybody underage.
Yeah, they completely dox them to their local police or whatever, and then they have them on files, and then they collect like what do you call it? Like they collect like fucking
what, IP or something?
like evidence,
like footage or IP
like
threats.
footage.
Okay, yeah,
exactly. And
evidence. Okay, yeah.
They'll collect evidence against their case and clearly state and show that they were like, you know, grooming these children in VR chat. It's really cool, and then
really cool.
if they can't get them to you know, get arrested or whatever because they're like covering their tracks pretty well or something, then they'll completely wipe them off. Like they'll burn their GPU doing this thing. Back in the day, there was this
The
There's
fan
this-
hack?
Yeah,
Is
the
that what you're
fan
talking about?
hack.
Yeah, I've
Exactly,
heard about that.
There's this
Yeah.
thing called
So
a fan
there's
hack,
there's
yeah.
that's the thing. I think I know exactly what you're talking about, or so going on to like that subject, if we're like for I guess segueing into the next segueing into like another topic or something. Yeah. So if we're talking about that, there was a huge community, especially before the before the anti cheat came in. It's still like they still exist, but the easy anti cheat just kind of like. So there's there's stipulations between easy anti-cheat joining VR chat, and we can get into that another time.
Yeah.
But so back before easy anti-cheat, there was a huge problem per se of like people that had hacks or people like hacking, or like people that would run like mods to fry GPUs, fry CPUs, and basically what all that stuff was is they would have like it would basically just throw your GPU into like overdrive, and they would just run a software all the time, and those guys were called crashers. And it would be, all right, you're either overloading like particles in the world, and particles is kind of like like the polygons that make us up, or there'll be like in some worlds you'll see like little dust particles flying around and stuff like that. And basically they would have these either avatars, or they would have whole programs that would just shove those files into your GPU's face, and that would just make it absolutely hate life.
It's so
Or there were
fucking
other
interesting
people
when
that
they do
had
that.
yeah, so what those guys were called is those guys were using what's called clients. And you could buy a client
Just
anywhere.
like you can for
like
any
before
game.
EAC came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could just buy the client, install it, and then you could run it. And so obviously there was like two sides to it, as is everything. So there were the client users that were using it for negative effects, so like crashing people or crashing entire worlds, frying people's PCs, making life living hell for anybody that was like only Quest, or making specific people's lives miserable. And you could do that. And there were certain avatars that would do the same thing, whether through like particles or shaders or excessive amount of this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
And then there were also, so on the other side, there were positive client users. So there would be positive client users that would have anti-crashers. So like they would have like their client running with an anti-crash software on it, and they would be like sitting near a group of people, and then they would just throw like either the rubber banding software, or they would have their anti-crash on. And so if someone came in with like a crashing client, and they were just like, I don't like the people in here, or I just feel like fucking with people today, they would throw out their client, or they would do out their crashing software. And someone with the rubber banding software, and I think this is the coolest thing ever. So if you have a rubber banding software, if you want a visual, so say like, here's where we all are. There's like a rubber band like right between my hands. There's like a rubber band here. The aggressive client would come in. This person would have a rubber band active. It would just go boom, boing, and it would just fling it right back at the person, and then that person would crash.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
That's so much power.
and it would bounce, and depending on how aggressive it was, so there would be some people be like, oh, I just want to crash them out of the world, so it just make everybody freeze in place, and then they would just be like out of the world, and then you'd just see an entire lobby just disappear. Or there were people that had like severely aggressive clients, which is like, oh, I'm specifically attacking your CPU to fry your computer. Boing, bounce back, their computer's dead.
Jesus. That's fucking
She's
awesome.
apparently seen something similar to that happen. She's apparently seen something similar happen, or something similar happen to her, where a friend of hers had an anti-crasher or rubber band software. She was threatened, by some person, like, I'm gonna crash your PC, I'm gonna fry your CPU, and she just, because obviously she doesn't speak a whole lot, she just goes shrug. The person next to her was like, got it. Turned on his rubber banding software, and you just see him just like she saw him like do something or whatever, and then just saw him poof, disappeared. He froze, poofed,
That's some
gone.
bullshit.
God damn.
So what
that's
more than
crazy.
likely would happen was if he was being serious and he's like, I'm a fry your CPU, and if he had the client to fry his CPU, his CPU was toast.
Fucked. Yeah.
I heard it does
Absolutely
take a little
gone.
bit of time though, and technically, if you knew it was happening, if you had an idea that it was going to happen, then you could just shut off your computer completely, and it'd be like in the clear.
You would have to be fast.
Yeah,
Like it would be one of those things where like you'd have to
Right,
notice
people
you'd have
are,
to
like,
notice
usually.
like frames. Yeah, you'd have to like notice like, okay, my frames are dropping significantly, or I'm running, say, normally at 60 frames. All of a sudden, I'm at 10 for zero reason. Oh no, unplugged PC. You might have been able to save it, probably, if you were fast enough. But at some point, it was one of those things where it was kind of luck of the draw. And how many times have you experienced it? How many times have you experienced this? Do you know what to look for? Yada yada yada. Although I will say, thanks to the easy anti-cheat, somewhat, because there's also client users. So then there was the other side. So there was like,
So there's just like,
let's say like just chaotic evil. So there was like the chaotic evil, which were like the crashers, the friars, the hackers, those guys. Then there was the chaotic kind of neutral with like the anti-crashers, rubber banders, kind of pretty much harmless clients, all things considered.
Right.
And then there was a third set of client users, and those had quality of life. So say like right now, if you go pop up your like basic hand menu, right? You can go to like tools, or you can go to options, and then there's like a chat box feature, right? VR chat didn't used to have that at all. So if you were like someone that if you were someone like Lex, you could see she's typing right now.
Yeah.
That's a quality of life update for VR chat. That has been a new thing.
And
so
that's
she
very
says
recent,
hello.
correct?
So
that was like within the last month.
that's last 2-3 months. This is
somebody said they have ghost stories. I have ghost
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah. Autumn.
Do
did.
we all have ghost stories?
Yeah, we all
like
do.
ghost stories in VR.
I do.
Just everything in VR,
No, like
in
in
real
real
life,
life.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
cool,
VR,
cool.
whatever. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I have a ghost story. I have a ghost that's been haunting me specifically for like the past 6 years.
In VR specifically?
She's no in IRL.
Oh,
IRL. This ghost has followed
Go
me.
on, fuck it.
No, yeah, this
Go
ghost.
on.
This
Hold on.
this. I was gonna say this ghost has followed me from. This ghost has followed me through 2 apartments, 2 houses, and my current apartment.
Fuck. That's serious shit.
She's heard me talk to him. She's heard me talk to him when I went back to living with my parents while during COVID. It was the craziest shit.
That's crazy. Does he have a name or
Yeah, I call him Casper.
Casper? Okay.
Casper the ghost.
Yeah.
Actually, do you call him Casper
No.
from the old animation where Casper the ghost was like a genuine like character back in the I think like the 50s?
So
or
like
something?
that was so here's the thing. Like I can tell you. So like it was back when I was living with my at the time girlfriend. Like way
I dropped
long
my
ago.
mic. I dropped my mic. Go on,
That's
go on.
Not again!
I know. We need to fucking
Homie!
mic him up on an arm, bro. It's so fun.
We need to invest in it. man.
Oh my,
My
fucking god.
Anchor,
So
baby,
fucking
buy us a microphone,
Please.
baby. Microphone
Please.
stand, baby. Anchor, please. We
This
love
boy
you.
needs a mic arm. He
Oh,
don't need
fuck!
a mic. He just needs a
Dropped it
mic
again.
arm.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is
I'm
wrong?
sorry.
Homie!
I'm sorry. Okay,
What is
okay.
fucking wrong with you?
Get a mic arm. They're
Anchor,
like
thank
20
you.
bucks on Amazon.
Anchor, thank you for sponsoring the podcast. Buy us a microphone arm, baby.
That's the first investment we're getting. Seriously.
Anchor, for the love of God, please get these boys some mic arms so that they don't keep so all you don't hear every 30 minutes is oh, I'm dropping my mic. That. Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh shit. Okay,
So good.
so I guess we should get started with my haunting story or
Oh,
my
yeah,
my
that's what I
current
wanted.
ghost
I've
that
been
I'm living
recording
with.
this whole time. It's
Same.
gold.
We didn't
It's
stop,
golden
yeah.
content. You're amazing.
Oh hell yeah.
You all are amazing.
So
Keep it in.
Casper the Ghost. All right, so Casper the Ghost. I'm Casper the Ghost. Originally, Casper kind of started forming an attachment to me around, I believe, my second apartment that I was living in with my at the time girlfriend. We moved into an apartment, and we were just like, "Oh, okay, cool, normal apartment." Out of nowhere, what we would start hearing is we would just hear 3 knocks on just
Okay.
something. You just hear.
Got it.
About that hard. Yeah. I just hear 3 knocks. Only 3. And it would just be whenever. So sometimes it would be on a door, sometimes it would be on a wall, sometimes it would be on a kitchen counter, and it was a distinct knuckle on solid object knock. And we're like, what the fuck? Okay.
What do you
We're just
think he was
are we
trying to tell you?
haunted? I don't know. No idea. It was always in sets of 3s. No idea idea why. So we're just kind of like, all right, well, that's Casper. We're just kind of like, oh yeah, well, that's our ghost. And we're just like, what are we gonna call him? Casper. I don't fucking know. And so when we started first having interactions with Casper, it was knocks, and we could always tell when he wasn't happy. Because occasionally we would have like friends sleeping over at our apartment or whatever, because this was a time when I was significantly more extroverted, and I would have like people hanging out at my apartments all the time. People would sleep over. And the first time where we started finding out that he was like actually mildly aggressive was he would scream.
You would hear a scream
in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, we didn't particularly hear it. I'm assuming that Casper liked at least me at the time. Like like me and him now have a pretty good bond. Like he doesn't really fuck with me. Sometimes he'll stare at me in the corner of the bed if he's having a pissy day.
Right.
Sorry, Casper.
Very normal.
But like he'll just stand and stare at me, and it is horrifying. It is mildly horrifying when you just feel like you're being stared at. But so he didn't scream at me or my girlfriend at the time, but we had sometimes people would sleep over in our like living room, would just sleep on the floor, sleep on the couch, whatever. And from the kitchen specifically, you would hear a blood-curdling scream in the distance, but it was definitely in the kitchen. So like we had two people hanging out, they were sleeping next to each other, and they just hear or like blood-curdling scream. I don't want to like wake up the rest of my apartment complex by screaming, but they heard blood-curdling scream.
What the fuck was that?
Far away, like far away, and in the kitchen. Both of them apparently rolled over, looked at each other, were just like, nope, and they just went back to bed. And that was like the first time that we'd heard anything like realistically aggressive coming from him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, you know, throughout the rest of our lease, we would, you know, hear our continuous 3 knocks. If he was having a really bad day, you would just hear, like, out of nowhere, like on a surface. Like, you would hear, like, on a wall.
I do that sometimes,
and
too.
So,
I don't blame him.
No, yeah, but it was super inconsistent, so we're like, well, what the fuck? So you just hear him, like, slam on a wall. Like, one time that definitely got me is I was, like, brushing my teeth in the bathroom, and my girlfriend at the time and one of her girlfriends were sitting on the bed in my bedroom, and out of nowhere, you just hear wham, like right behind me. I just heard like a heavy slam on the back wall, and I just like spit out my toothpaste all over the mirror. I jumped like a mile into the air. I'm like, what the fuck? And I ripped the fucking bathroom door open. I look at her. I'm just like, that was not fucking funny. And she's like, that wasn't me. I'm just like, bullshit. And she's just kind of like, no, seriously? We've just been here. We thought that was you. I'm like, no, I was brushing my teeth and I spit toothpaste all over the mirror. And she's just like, what? I'm just like, so we both just look into toward the living room. We're just like, Casper, what the fuck, man?
That's so crazy.
And
man.
so
the best way to confront it is literally just by confronting it, for sure.
No, yeah, I've been talking to Casper now for pretty consistently for the last like 5 years, like addressing him, and now him and I have like a way to like legitimately have conversations with each other. Like I will have a full conversation with Casper for
So
yeah,
would you
back
say
and
you're
forth.
a believer of like the afterlife? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know if necessarily the afterlife, but I am a believer in like spiritual beings.
Okay,
Right.
I guess I would say, because I've had a lot. So
very well said.
So that was the first. So the last interaction we had at that apartment complex was we were getting pizza. We were like literally packing to move to our next apartment complex. And we had one guy that was sitting in, just kind of helping like clean up like odds and ends and stuff like that. And apparently out of nowhere, he hears the toilet like flush. Not like the normal like, oh, the water's running. No, we have no idea. We're trying to figure that one out. But like he heard the toilet flush. He walked in and he like saw the toilet bowl swirling. Not like the typical, if you've ever lived in an apartment complex, like someone else flushes and you can hear like the rest of the water run through or whatever. Yeah. It was a full on flush, toilet bowl swirling and everything. And he's like, so he texts us and goes, is anybody else here? And we're like, no. And he walks in the bathroom, the toilet and the water's like swirling around. He's just like, the toilet just flushed itself. And we're like, oh, that's Casper.
That's fucking awesome.
He's like, what the fuck?
Ooh,
so we're just like, all right, cool. Well, Casper. So like right afterward, we're just like, hey Casper, it's been real. Have a good rest of your afterlife. Like, try not to scare the next person. Move to our next apartment complex. The paranormal doesn't really happen for like the first month.
Yeah.
And we're assuming that was one of
That's
those
how it
things where like
happens.
Casper's attachment to us. Yeah, so like we're just like assuming that Casper's like attachment to us like either wasn't weak, or he was like maybe in the process of like moving locations or whatever, or like all of it. It was just kind of slow. And then it was like one of those things where like occasionally it went from like heavy knocking to where's my desk? Oh my god, it's way over there. I'm not even bothered to it. But you hear but like I don't know if you could pick it up, but you'd hear just light knocks.
Oh my god, my
Threes
mic.
again.
Anchor baby.
God fucking
Oh,
damn it, Casey.
Anchor baby, buy us a
Fucking
mod,
damn it.
pod mic.
You son of a bitch.
A mic stand.
So, yeah.
baby.
You fuck.
So yeah, so it's something so light like that. You just hear little 3 light knocks.
Yeah.
It wasn't the heavy knocks that we were getting before. It was just 3 light knocks, and we're like, huh, Casper's back. And it was something that I noticed. Like I heard 3 knocks on our main bathroom or on our bathroom door. Like all of a sudden, like I was just chilling, and like in the bathroom, right between I believe the vanity that we had and like the normal bathroom, I was like sitting out. Like I was walking to the hallway to our bedroom at the time. I just hear the 3 knocks coming from like around the vanity part of the bathroom. I'm like, huh. And my girlfriend at the time goes, what? I was like, Casper's back. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, no, I just heard him knock on the door from the vanity. She's like, really? I'm just like,
Mad.
I'm just, she was kind of irritated by that fact. And we're just kind of like, whatever, maybe he likes us. And so like, and throughout the rest of the year, we didn't have any like screaming. Like occasionally we would get like the chills every once in a while, or we would get like warm warm strokes or whatever. Like we would just have like
warm
random
strokes,
like
I like
heat
that
portions
idea.
like go through us. No, you and me both, bro. It's been a long 15 days in November. I'm still going strong.
I fucking lost the.
But you just.
Whatever.
I've been staying strong so far.
It's not even my fault.
but-
dude.
Bro,
So, like-
lost.
So yeah, we've had occasionally with some like paranormal beings, like you'll either feel like random waves of heat or cool depending on like, and what I've noticed is like it's hot or cold depending on like their intentions. More often than not, if it's cold, it's a little bit more on the malicious side. At least that's in my experience. It's a conveying negative emotions, and if it's like warmer, it's more positive. At least in my situation that I've noticed. So all throughout the next lease, significantly better mannered. Like didn't really hear anybody like mention screaming or anything like that. Occasionally, like the cats that we had, they would stare at the corners of the walls, or they would stare down the hallway intently, and we're just like, huh,
Cats
okay.
see
Well,
all,
I guess they're
too.
staring at Casper.
Yeah.
Cats are fucking wild. Cats are
They are.
wild beings.
They fucking see it all, bro. I swear to God.
No, yeah. So then from that apartment complex, we at that point in time during that second or third apartment complex that I'd lived in, my girlfriend at the time cheated on me,
No.
dumped me, left
Oh,
me for the
fuck
guy,
that.
left me for the guy. No, yeah, she left me for a guy that I had hosted his 21st birthday, had him over to our apartment complex multiple times. She's like, "Oh, you don't have to worry about him." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, cool. I
That's
trust
so
you."
Yeah,
Shit.
that's kind of sus.
Bullshit.
Yep. And the want to know the best way that I found out?
What?
I had just gotten my wisdom teeth all pulled out. I was having trouble sleeping in, so like I would leave the apartment complex super early.
That's so.
I
fucking
drove
nasty.
out one day. His car was at the gas station around the corner from our apartment complex. He was just sitting at the gas station.
Just
I'm like,
waiting,
you have to be
yeah.
shitting me. Yep,
That's
waiting
fucked.
for me to leave at like 5:30 in the morning. I was just like, wow,
Fuck
that's
that
it,
guy.
huh? We broke up. And then I basically drank myself under the table. And the one thing that I will say is Casper didn't bug me. Like it was like
Maybe
I could
Casper was
feel
giving him
his
shit.
sadness. I don't think so, because I felt like
maybe.
him being there. I felt him being there,
Yeah.
but I could feel like he felt the pain that I was feeling, and I could kind of feel like him. He was just like, dude, I'm so sorry. And that was like the first time that like a thought communication had happened. Like I felt like out of nowhere, it was just kind of like I kind of heard like a little voice being like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm just like, I lost it. Like when I heard that just out of nowhere, I just busted down crying. I just cried for a good 3 hours after that.
It's heavy shit. Yeah.
So yeah, so after that whole situation, I hooked up with didn't like hook up with like another like friend of ours, like a mutual friend, who's just like, hey man, I know you're going through this hard time. I'm by myself right now because we just had to. I had to throw out my old roommate because he wasn't paying rent or this, that, or the other thing wasn't working out. He's like, you want to live with me? I'm like, sure thing. Apparently, he also had a ghost.
Oh fuck! No.
He also had a
I was
ghost.
talking about the rent thing,
Wait,
but
so-
I feel you.
Are you talking about ghost homies though? Is this what happens in the end? Is this the happy ending?
Dude, I genuinely wish I could tell you. I have no fucking clue. But that ghost, his name was Frank.
Oh shit! Frank and Casper.
He did not. No, so yeah, so like a lot of times, like I would just kind of, so I would be, so most of the time, like I wasn't in that house at that point in time. At that point, I was like, I was out and about, being out in public, didn't really spend a lot of time at the house. But occasionally, if I was like upstairs, if I was either sleeping or if I was like downstairs, like occasionally like watching like the Misfits, or if I was watching like any like
Misfits.
car videos, like Mighty Car Mods and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I would hear 2 sets of feet walking above me. I would go upstairs, nobody would be up there, or I would be like home by myself and I would hear 2 sets of feet walking around upstairs. I was like, huh, Casper and Frank be chilling. All right.
I've
One
heard
thing I
that
will say though
before.
is,
One
thing I will say though is Frank. So Frank had a door. Frank had a door in my bedroom because I had like the entire like second floor, like to myself, and there was like a little like push door that went up to the attic. He did not like that door being touched. Frank hated it to the point, and like I didn't touch it because like I had heard a horror story, because apparently the last roommate opened the door with like a broom handle or something, and for a week Frank would stomp around upstairs, would stomp like up and down the stairs, and he would slam cupboards.
Just hella mad for why?
Just he was, we have no idea, but he was pissed as shit.
Fuck that.
I didn't experience it. I didn't experience it personally. I was just kind of like, you know what, Frank? You don't like your door being touched? Not gonna touch your door. You got my respect, homie. I'm not gonna bug you. I don't want that negativity in my life. I just got one ghost calmed down. I got one ghost to like me. I do not need to be on your bad side. So we went through there. Didn't get a whole lot from Casper for that entire house, for that housing situation. Moved into a new house. Didn't really get a whole lot of action there. It was just, you know, the occasional like warm waves, cool feelings, or the cold feelings, the shivers or whatever.
Yeah.
Occasionally would get those. Didn't stare at me a whole lot. He was just kind of just chilling, because I'm assuming, because at that point in time I'd moved 2 houses in a short time span, so I'm sure that like he was just trying to like keep up. So moved into a new place, didn't get a whole lot of like anything from him then. Moved back into then COVID hit, that lease ran out, moved back into my parents'. He was pissed. Because we got downstairs and we have like a water heater like in like my parents' basement. And so he would just out of nowhere, just, she heard it. Because at this point, like, so like, and it like, it wasn't quiet, because like we would be in a Discord call and out of nowhere it would just be,
Damn.
what was the longest time? It was like 20-30 minutes of him just banging on my water boiler.
God.
20-30 minutes of him just slamming on it. And I'm like, Casper, knock it off. And he would just
motherfucker. You fucking
no,
knocked that shit off.
He, like, I will verbatim go say exactly how the conversation went, and you can check on her reaction for it. It was just, Casper, I swear to God, knock that shit off. I'm so sick of you knocking on it right now.
That motherfucker.
Casper, what did I just say?
Get a resolution?
Stop knocking.
With Casper? Did you?
No, it was just him being pissy. He was just, I'm not done. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. Right. I'm verbatim a good 5-minute combo.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Casper, stop. What did I just say? I don't care. No, that doesn't mean knock on it more. Just fucking stop, bro. It's I understand the rhythm is good. Like the rhythm is banging. I'll give you that.
He's intelligent.
That doesn't mean continue. I don't care if it's cold in the basement. I understand that. I also don't want to be here, but you know, like it's COVID and rent is fucking expensive. I don't want to do it. Listen, I understand. I'm working on it right now. I have a job. I'm trying to get into an apartment complex. Yes, I understand that you're not happy, but what do you mean there's another one down here? Do you not like him? What? Okay, so that's a no. All right, so can you just stop banging? Please. All right, thank you. Didn't hear anything for the rest of the night. But for the entire, like, 20 minutes prior, for about 20 minutes, yeah, see, for about 25 minutes prior, all you heard in the background.
That's wild, bro.
Just a rhythmic bang. So I had a 5-minute conversation with my ghost through nothing but bangs to get him to stop banging on the door. And so he was not, he was not exactly happy with living at my parents, because I'm pretty sure my parents have a whole nother being in their house. That one is not as friendly, because that motherfucker used to stare at me when I was a kid. So yeah, that's my ghost story.
I can't fucking even tell you how sketchy it is to say this, but we literally had a guy die in this very room we're podcasting in currently.
That's actually facts.
Oh, hell yeah.
His name was David.
He knew him
That's
better
fucking
than
fire.
I
That's
did,
dope as fuck.
but I didn't know the man. So.
No, I literally watched a scary movie with him and a comedy. I think it had Channing Tatum in it or some shit. So
I actually
like
God, what an absolute.
The room that we currently are podcasting in, I actually grew up in a little bit in my teen years. Just
our family owns it.
Yeah, our family owns this whole house.
Yeah.
And so I actually had a thing that would happen a lot, and it happened only maybe 2-3 times this year, where when I was a teenager, I would wake up in the middle of the night at say exactly 3-something in the morning. I just remember it being 3-something specifically, and like a giant fucking spider web would slowly float down on me, and I would just fucking freak the fuck out. I would physically get up, and I remember going to go drink some water, because I just my brain was just still going at that point to where I was just hyped up on adrenaline. What the fuck was that? It happened a good few times, and it just started coming back last year and this year, and it's definitely a lot less than what I was seeing when I was a kid, but it just freaked me the fuck out. I don't know what was going on. And then Casey told me that somebody died in this fucking room a month ago, which I didn't know he actually died in this room. I knew he died here, but I didn't know he died in this fucking room. So
Yo, 5 hours. Okay.
Later.
Bye.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
Bye, Lex. Lex is heading out.
Bye.
We'll hang out again sometime.
I was
Head pats, of course. Head pats.
always.
Ooh, head pats. Bye.
Bye.
I also
Well, there goes part of our weapon bit.
Yeah, wait, what the fuck?
Oh, thank
Bye.
you.
Came back for extra head pats.
So kind, so kind.
I also want to clarify that
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's super nice. I like her.
yeah.
Very animated.
That's actually my ex-girlfriend.
Really?
Oh, that's the one that saw the
Mhm.
ghosts and shit?
Not.
Yeah, that's the one
not
that
the
was.
one that it-
Yeah, that's.
But not the
No,
one that cheated.
that's not the one that saw the ghost, but. No, that's not the one that cheated. No,
Copy that.
I wouldn't be talking to her. I would not be talking to
I
her.
wouldn't think so. I was
Still.
oh, really?
No. That's my most. That one is my most recent ex that I was I had the so that's why she was on Discord with me when I was having a conversation with the ghost. Well, I was kind of like, hey, she can vouch. This is the conversation that legitimately happened verbatim.
Right.
It's because I was on a call with her until fucking 3 or 4 a.m.
That's just fucking crazy to me. You heard literal knocks and shit. That's crazy, dude. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Casper's
Our
a wild
house-
one.
No, our house, I want to clarify, it literally has serious electric problems that are
It's
unexplainable.
very bad. Okay, so actually at one point, it was Halloween time, so everybody was kind of in the spirit a little bit. We only did a tiny bit of drinking. I had a couple friends over, and one of my buddies who's
Like 10 people. I don't know.
stupid superstitious, like fucking, he gets high as fuck tits off of marijuana, and then he'll fucking be like, yeah, this one thing's gonna happen, and this happened, and ghost shit. And he said that at 3:33 there was going to be a fucking thing that happens with the light. I don't know how you knew it, because we've always had like random things where the light in the main living room would just turn on and off and on and off like randomly at times a day. And he was like, at 3:33 the light's gonna turn off, and we're all like bullshitting, like making jokes off of it, and it fucking happens, dude. Then we couldn't even make jokes off of it. You're like, all right, I don't know how you knew this was gonna happen, but it did. It was pretty fucking funny.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What are you doing?
I
Casey?
have so many ghost stories.
Yeah, Autumn, don't you have like straight up like detectors and whatnot?
Let's hear it.
Yeah,
Everything.
I have a
Tell
REM
us. I want to
pod,
know everything.
And I have So I have plenty. So I have a story about me actually catching a ghost on film, but then mysteriously losing it. But it has a cool plot twist to it. I have something about a skinwalker. I have something about my
Ooh,
old house.
I
I want to
nightmares
hear
that I have
everything
an
about
attachment.
I
skinwalkers.
haven't
Yeah.
heard much
Okay.
about
Everything.
skinwalkers.
Okay, so I'll
Those are
talk to you about the
horrifying.
skinwalkers thing after my ghost stories, but I'll talk about my first ghost experience. So my grandparents' house, me and my cousin Ethan, we grew up always going to their house, but we always remember a black figure, right?
Right.
And we always
big
remember a
black
black figure in the
goobly-goobly-goo.
basement, and yeah, we all tried to figure out who the fuck he is. Am I allowed to cuss on this podcast? Is
Of
that
course.
okay?
You can say anything.
There's no-
Okay, but-
there's
My
no
shit
slurs.
fuck titty
Yeah.
hurts on my cock.
Okay, anyways, so I had
Great
this
example.
like cheap Android tablet at the time, and mind you, I'm pretty sure I was like 10, and we put it at the top of the stairs, and we started recording, and we made sure no one went up the stairs. It was like Thanksgiving, you could hear everyone downstairs, and I went up there and I was like, hey, if you're up here, just say something. And it was a 30-minute long video. Me and my cousin sat at the bottom of the stairs, made sure no one went up there. You could check the whole video. Well, towards the last 2 minutes, an old woman goes up behind the camera. Like you could hear her speaking from like behind the camera if like you were to like wear headphones and you could hear like where the voice is coming from. She goes, Bonnie, Bonnie. And we're like, who's Bonnie? Like we don't know anyone named Bonnie. And so we went to my grandma. She doesn't like it when we talk about ghost things or ghost hunt her house. She's like very protective of these like spirits. It's weird as hell. But we showed it to her and she goes, that's kind of weird because she sounds like my grandma and she gave me a doll named Bonnie. Okay, we're like, what the fuck? This is weird. And so we went to the basement to find the doll, even though she told us not to find the doll. We found the doll in a
What the
box with my
fuck?
name on it.
A fucking doll.
It was a box
your
that
name
my
on it?
mom. Yes, so the box had my name on it because my mom gave it to my grandma so she could put stuff in it. But the doll happened to be in a box that was with my name on it, and like it was the craziest thing. I was like, "What the fuck?" Anyways,
fucking
years go by.
wild.
I was like, "Oh my god." I remember this ghost video that I caught of this ghost, and I want to put it out to the world because I love ghost hunting. Like randomly, the button of the tablet doesn't work anymore. You can't turn it on. Me and my dad have stripped it open. We've taken it to people. They don't know what's wrong with it. They don't know why it doesn't turn on. It will turn on, but it doesn't like actually turn on for it to be physically working. There's like no way
Oh,
for
it doesn't
to
boot.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Like if for some reason it just won't work, but everything on it is like perfectly fine. So it's like
Odd.
the ghost like made it to where we couldn't have the footage. It's like, no, I want to stay secret. So that's like a story that like I don't know if anyone will believe, but it's like something that I caught, and it was like my first ever ghost catching like on a video. So
That's
I
fucking
thought that was
sweet.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's another story? Oh my gosh, I have so many. I have an attachment. It followed my mom when she was younger. It's this tall black figure. He has a top hat. You can't see his face. He has a long
Okay.
trench coat, but you don't know if he has arms or legs because it's like this whole black figure,
That sounds like
He's
some
super
weird
tall.
ass, like Slender Man
He
shit.
followed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird as hell. He followed my mom growing up. He followed my sister. He shows up in our dreams. And then like sometimes I see him and sometimes like I could sense him. Um, but he shows up in my reoccurring nightmares that I have.
Ooh, fuck
And
that.
I started like getting confident. Yeah, I started getting confident in my last reoccurring nightmare. He showed up, but he was like trying to harm me. And so I was like, "Who are you? What do you want?" This is like the second time I've tried confronting him. And I was like, "Who are you? What do you want? Like, what are you?" And he disappeared. And I haven't seen him since. Anytime that I try to confront him, he like disappears. But he's like this dark, he's not like what do I say? He's an entity. So like an
Right.
entity is something that has never lived before.
Yeah.
And a spirit is like something that has lived and has passed on. So he's like an entity, but I don't know what type he is, but I know he like has followed my mom, my sister, and now me, and like all these weird things.
Do you know any like traits or anything? Like anything? Like common things of him or it or whatever?
What
Entity?
like characteristics and whatnot. you know?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like common trait, like
Not really. No, he
he does.
So I
random
just got
shit.
an update from
He
Lex.
he just stands there. He just does nothing.
Okay, and is
What about Lex? She having ghost
So
shit?
Lex just messaged me. Yeah.
Okay.
Lex
Wow.
just texted me with a ghost thing.
wow, what?
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah. So, yeah, I just got a text, or I just got a Discord message.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I get a text. This is word for word. By the way, I too have a ghost friend in my apartment. His name is James. I found that out after coming home to the bathroom full of steam and the name James being written on the mirror. I do occasionally wake up to him just standing over me. And so I guess what she's just like, I believe James heard us talking about ghost friends. She has
Fuck,
told
man.
me about James because her power went out and she had a candle going on, and she's like, yeah, but depending on how the candle reacts is dependent on his mood. If he blows it out, he's not in a good mood. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's see if we can keep the candle alive. Then we will try not to piss off your ghost friend. I didn't know that he had a name, and now I know that the ghost's name is James. So yeah, that's Lex's fun little ghost story.
That's so wild.
That's crazy.
That's
That is
fucking
so
crazy that
crazy.
just happened,
Yeah,
too.
what the
Yeah.
hell? Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Very nice.
I'm assuming because like
Um,
most otherworldly beings, I'm assuming they'll just hear it, and so it'll be like, oh, so you're talking about this memory,
no,
and you're just
yeah.
like, oh,
They'll know.
right.
They feed off like
They'll know
they
when
feed
you're
off
like
that
talking
shit,
about
yeah.
them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Nice.
even if you're like watching like Ghost Adventures or something, and they're like, and on the show they're like, oh, can you do this or do this, and they're like trying to provoke the ghost. Like, if that's coming through your speakers, your spirits in your house are gonna hear that, and your spirits are gonna start doing that, and they're gonna
100%,
think,
yeah.
oh, these people are trying to make me angry, and I'm gonna do something, and so, yeah, that's
I should
crazy that
really
that
stop
happened though.
watching that
Like,
shit
Yeah,
that's
on
so
you know
wild.
what's
blast at
really
2 in the morning.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, what's really funny? I used to do that. I used to watch ghost hunting videos in the apartment with Casper when he was more of a
Uh-huh.
like, I guess, like aggressive being, I guess, per se. But I used to
Yeah.
watch that shit all the time, and I'm starting to wonder, like, maybe
It
we were
provoked him a
pissing him
little.
off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
no,
haven't really
yeah,
watched
it's
any-
Very well.
But I think at this point in time now, if I were to start watching Ghost Hunter shit again, I'd just be like, hey, Casper, I'm watching Ghost Hunter shit. Like, I'm not trying to provoke you, not pissing you off, and more
Yeah.
than. Oh, hold on, he's saying something.
What does he say? What is he
Okay,
saying?
he's fine with it. He's fine with it.
Okay, good.
He's just like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, you can do that. I don't care. Like, I know you. You're chill. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool.
That's
Thanks, man.
Can we use his real name, actually? Do we have to bleep that out?
Casper?
I'm fucking with you, yeah.
No. He's just like, no.
It was.
Casper's being sassy. He says, no, you can't use my fucking name, dickhead.
What a fucking vibe, bro. I wish you could join us in VR chat and we could just have a chat. That would be great.
Right?
That'd be-
Imagine.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
want, we can. Actually, here's the thing. I can mediate for you guys. If you want to do a whole nother podcast of talking to ghosts, I can do a
Yeah.
mediate.
We might have to.
Yeah.
Because
I
We
can
will
too.
have
Because I was gonna say
eventually.
at this point in time, I'm gonna say at this point in time, I'm kind of a medium for him.
Yeah. That's fucking sick, though. That's sick that you
Yeah.
guys have that.
If you've had an
level of connection.
attachment that long.
Oh, he's stoked. Holy shit, my heart's racing. He's stoked about that.
Nice.
God damn. Yeah, we'll definitely have to hit
Hell
you
yeah.
up in like a
Yeah.
few weeks or a month or whatever about that. Yeah.
Well,
Shit, you can call me next
Heck
week
yeah.
and we can do it. I don't care.
I don't know if you guys are surprised.
Whenever
by
your
this,
podcasts are, just let me know.
but we're actually an hour and 15 minutes into the podcast. We're doing
Fuck
really
yeah.
well.
Oh my
We
gosh.
have almost every single topic
That's
nailed
awesome.
off.
Actually, we gotta
perfectly.
shout out Minty Dust on YouTube.
On
right?
YouTube, and we
Yeah.
got to shout out random guy on Twitter.
True.
Yeah,
So-
hold on, let's do it. Let's
Twitch.
let's shout
Let-
out.
Let's take a little
Shout
little
out
peeky
Anchor
little
baby.
into Minty Dust's YouTube.
Shout out Anchor.
She makes Minty Dust. What kind of content do you create on YouTube?
I create gaming videos. I also have a main channel where I do vlogs and stuff of like my daily life. I'm gonna start getting back into that. But I stream on Twitch too. Well, I used to all the time until I get good Wi-Fi. I'm a variety streamer, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, your streams were actually really well done too. When you did actually have internet, of course.
I think it's at
Thank
Mint.
you.
It's at OK
Yeah,
Minty
when I
Dust,
had-
right?
At OK Minty Dust
Yes.
on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay. And then they can find your rest of it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I'll put it in the description too with some links for Minty Dust and for Random Guy. Random Guy, what's your Twitter?
Well, my Twitter is at the random guy, and then my Twitch is random guy. Twitch.tv/random guy.
Copy that. At the Random Guy on Twitter. You can add him if you want to listen in. You
Yeah.
gonna post anything about ghost shit?
I was gonna say. I mean, I might
You could.
start posting some miscellaneous ghost shit if Casper decides to just like do something funny, then fucking I guess I'll tweet about it. Most of the time though, what you're gonna find is you're gonna find me liking horny shit and my shower thoughts.
That's fair.
If you want, I can read out
follow
a shower.
him
I can
and he
read out a shower thought that I
responds-
just posted.
Dude, you respond to or no, not anime chicks, but like VR chicks that are like half naked,
yeah.
and they pop up on my
Oh,
Twitter, and I'm
absolutely.
like, bro, why is this popping up? And I scroll down, and it's just random being all like, oh my god, like you're being a big ol' simp.
You know
for
what's
it.
funny is some of the e-girls that I'm responding to are actually just are femboys.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's fucking
Yeah, it's great. I was gonna say, do you want me to read a shower thought from my Twitter? I can do that just to give some of the viewers a taste of what goes on in my mental.
Let's do it.
All right,
They
yeah,
might
let me
love it,
find
they
my
might hate
phone.
it. Who cares?
Probably a combination of the two, because sometimes I hate my own shower thoughts. Let's see. Let me open up the old Twitter. Let me see if I can find a good one. Oh,
Oh,
naked girl or
Oh.
naked VR chick.
oh fuck yeah.
First thing, naked VR chick. Nice, love it.
That's my favorite.
Okay, so my most recent tweet 2 days ago. Do you reckon Carl Weezer has had an asthma attack while fapping Jimmy's mom,
Oh,
my
of course.
God,
Judy
yes.
Neutron?
I'm
Yes.
a big Jimmy Neutron fan.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
We don't even have to
boy
crack the
genius,
code on
baby.
this.
Oh,
I mean-
absolutely.
I fucking
So-
do, and I'm cool. What?
Shit, you ain't wrong. Oh, I also another. All right, so another wild tweet that I got. There was a post that was just kind of like, send me the last photo that you had saved in your camera roll, right?
Yeah.
Mine was because I also scroll through and I'll find because I also streamed Apex a lot on my Twitch,
Half-eaten bunny on a pipe.
and so I would get.
Am I in the right?
So I found I found Watson giving a blowjob, right?
Oh fuck! I was way off.
You'll never believe. No, I was gonna say. So, you want to know who liked it? You want to know who liked that tweet of Watson giving a blowjob?
God.
Don't tell me.
My
Andrew
Singing
Tate.
Monsters.
Oh.
The My Singing Monsters mobile game liked
What the fuck?
that tweet, and I have.
The mobile
I
game
have. Yeah, the mobile game My Singing Monsters. Breed them, feed them, listen to them sing. Official news and updates from from the My Singing Monsters app.
They're like breed, Breed them. Do it. Breed them.
No, yeah, it was. I was like, exactly. And so I'm just kind of like, and it's actually in my Twitter. And it's a tweet. I just go, I'm sorry. What in the And it's just, and I censored it out with like a pair of like aviator glasses or whatever.
Wait, it's My Sea Monsters, or is it Sea Monsters like?
No, My Singing Monsters, the mobile game.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm gonna look this
Yeah,
up.
My
Have you ever
Singing
played that
Monsters.
game?
No, I haven't played.
It's
that.
hysterical. The game is so funny.
Monsters.
Dude, that was
Let's
like my
see.
childhood. My singing monsters was fire.
What, you got like a level
Oh,
80 or
absolutely.
something?
Level 80. What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There's like, look, bro, look at this case. Turn up the volume, it says. They actually sing, bro? Oh shit, I didn't mean to cut it off.
Yeah, you make a whole band.
He dropped his mic again.
Oh,
Anchor, baby.
my
God damn!
Sponsored us. Sponsor us, Anchor.
Anchor, baby. Buy us a new headset. Or headset mic holder.
Oh, this one's beatboxing. What the fuck? What's going on?
Okay. So if you
fucking
also want to
fire.
know how chaotic my Twitter can be, if you also want to know how chaotic
singing
my Twitter
monsters
can be,
fire.
I just found another tweet of mine. I posted this 8/29/22. Just pooped so hard that there's a vein in my temple that's still pulsing. It's been 10 minutes.
What the fuck?
I remember that.
I remember that. I don't know, this is the first and
Yeah,
only one that
I will-
like that one. Oh shit, sorry. I accidentally clicked on
Yeah,
the video.
My Twitter is a wild space. I actually need to delete some of like the I'm going live tweets. I might just unlink my Twitter from my Twitch because it's just starting to get just like all of my Twitter is basically just me advertising for my stream. But so like some of the shit that I'll just post random thoughts all the time or whenever they come into my head. So yeah. If you ever want something interesting to read, just scroll through. I'm already thinking
fuck,
of a new
sorry,
thing to tweet
sorry.
like right now.
Hey, yo.
Fuck.
What?
Chill.
No,
Shit,
no.
Me whenever my Twitter like fucking feed shows up is just porn.
That's all my
Blarg, McNasty, porn.
porn, guns and porn. How do you get a gun in VR?
Okay, so that's actually a
I
great
need to
thing.
know.
So, isn't there something that wait, so we're talking about guns, right? So isn't there
Correct.
someone so
Oh, shit.
Yes.
He's got the gat.
so here's the thing. So this is called, or like, so this is one of those things you can call, it's called an asset. So what you can do is like, so this, for any viewers that can see it, and for anybody on Spotify, fuck yourself until you see the video. I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome. I'm so sorry. So if you see the video right now, you can see that I'm
And
holding a
YouTube.
sniper rifle. I can put it, and YouTube as well. So obviously it's attached to my back. It's called an asset. It is something that I had to download. This avatar that you see me in is a personal avatar that I bought. You can buy them off of like a couple different sites. This one I
How
bought
much
off
do
of
they cost?
Gumroad. This one specifically cost $40,
Oh, okay.
US?
and it comes with a whole bunch of cool shit. Yeah, US dollars.
That's
So
not
this
bad.
one comes specifically with a bunch of cool stuff. So I can have
Oh,
toggles for
ears.
my head,
Here's a hat.
ears. I can do hat.
Horns. I like the horns.
stuff like
one,
that.
for sure.
I can take my mask off.
Oh yeah. Hey,
It's
hey, wow, I
toggleable.
haven't
I
actually
normally
seen
keep it
these
on
yet.
Yeah, no, that's the fucking little sneak peek here first. That's what I look like IRL all the time. So with this, obviously my jacket, I can toggle this to have my tank top. You can see tattoos. I have a robotic arm. The robotic arm is also toggleable.
Kinda badass.
Yeah,
I can turn it into a human arm.
Ooh. Fuck's sake.
By the way,
dude.
I did edit everything myself. Everything I edited myself, including the effects. So
Very nice.
where is the camera? Is it out of your eyes specifically?
I
Or
can
is there
see it.
like somewhere that I need to
You
look
can
for?
look at me
Okay,
or
cool.
him.
So
Yeah. Either or.
So if you guys can see, I've got glitter inside my gloves. Added that myself. If you can see, there's also a scrolling effect that goes through my glove.
That's so fucking
It flashes
cool.
like blue.
It's like a galaxy.
If you have, so you can also, there's a blue scroll that goes through my pants. Same thing
Fuck.
with my spine.
I
It
see.
scrolls through my
shit, he
spine.
racked back the bolt too, right there. I saw that.
Yeah. And then obviously I can do things like have an open jacket where I'm shirtless, or I can just be fully shirtless.
Ooh, fuck
Is
the
that
style.
hot?
I'm not gonna.
Shoes, then?
I'm not gonna do
Or-
the. I was gonna say because of YouTube TOS, I'm not gonna do the pants, but there is an ERP tool if I take the pants off.
We can blur.
I can also let the grippers free. I can let these dogs absolutely free.
Wow.
Oh, you can blur it. All right, fuck
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
Oh my
No pants.
god!
Wow.
It's shaved and everything. It's shaved clean.
Yo.
oh absolutely, absolutely. We don't be having hair down there, boys. We don't be having hair down there. It makes it look smaller.
You don't have to shave in fucking
Plus the
VR.
shit be
bro.
itchy. I'm living in VR now. I ain't getting nothing else. So yeah, I can also take off the shoes, stuff like that. With the robotic arm, it'll probably be even cooler if I can get just the shirt. All right, so as you can see, details in my arm,
Yeah.
all of the shading,
Yeah.
all of the coloring was done by me. I edited this entire avatar by myself. Like I bought like the
So
base. I
fucking
basically
cool.
did all the recoloring. Tank top was me. So other cool thing about this arm, if I make a fist. Oh, hold on, I toggled it off.
Oh.
I forgot I turned that off for a second. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so
Oh shit! You got a
I have
fucking
a blade.
knife,
Comes
bro?
out.
What the fuck?
Yep, I have that.
That's fucking.
This also
wild.
comes
That's
with.
so cool.
So fucking.
I can
cool.
turn on piercings.
Yeah. Oh shit! What the fuck?
I have spring joints.
Oh wow.
I can play with that.
That is so fucking cool looking.
Wow. You know, $40.
It also
not
comes
too
with a couple
bad.
things.
Not. Yeah, but totally worth
Is
it.
that hot?
He
So
did
yeah,
custom
there's
make a
also-
lot of this shit, though.
So then there's also
You can draw, bro.
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
That's so
clear
cool.
it. I can also do simple colors. So do
You know,
red.
It to me, it
I
completely
can change
makes
all the
sense
colors if I want to.
to buy an avatar. If you play a free game, right, you're spending no money to play this game, and if you're gonna be living in, you know, a certain character in terms of like this is like your main, you know, go to, totally worth the money. You're
Okay.
gonna be in that character, you know. It should
Oh,
be something
absolutely.
You connect to.
Exactly. And then you can obviously just buy more and more characters.
Well,
There's
of course.
plus you can buy more and more assets.
There's a lot of people with addictions of buying characters, of what I've noticed.
Oh yeah, no, so here's the thing. If you want to get into the topic of avatars, so this one is what it would be called an edited avatar or something like that. So you can buy avatars that are like pre-made, like you can buy them off of someone that already has like the blueprints for that. They've spent time on it, whatever. And you can go in and you can just buy it off the rip as it is. Or you can spend some serious money and anything from like $250 to like $1,000. You can have a completely custom built from the ground up. Everything is to your specification. Add any package that you want. Completely custom avatar, and those cost from like $200 if like you want pretty basic stuff, all the way up to like $1,000 with like crazy toggles, crazy effects, light shows everywhere. Like there's like I have a friend of mine. He helped me actually put this sniper. Oh shit!
Shit.
Where'd I go? So he helped me. Oh my
I see
fucking gun just disappeared.
Oh,
Okay,
there it
so
is.
oh, not again.
Oh,
You keep sitting.
it's okay.
Dude, this is gonna be an issue.
I don't know.
Give me,
What's going on?
give me. There it is. Okay. So, he actually helped me put this all together. He helped me walk through step by step the entire process of adding everything for the sniper rifle. So, you can obviously take the magazine out. It sits in your hand. There's a spawn point for it, kind of that sits in your hand. Load it. The whole thing is completely
I see it moving on your
interactive.
back, but I don't see it in your hands. That is weird.
Oh, that's not good.
Am I the only one tripping?
Okay.
I'm looking at Casey's screen and it's completely different what he sees versus what I see, to be honest.
It's kind of the same.
Yeah, but mostly it's working.
Oh, okay.
Not
then.
again, bro.
Now it's not doing anything right.
It did something. It did something.
gotta
Just
be funny
don't grab it near a couch.
Yeah, the
That's the
Couches
hard
couches are
part.
dangerous. Yeah.
Okay,
Go-
hold on.
go
Hold
stand
on,
in
hold
it
on. I gotta be
on
over
the
here. I gotta be
wall.
over
Yeah.
here.
All right, all right.
I'm over here.
And then
See it.
grab it.
So, come on. Where are you? Oh
There
no.
you go.
Where's my gun?
Oh,
Oh.
that was
My gun's over there.
kind of, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
your gun's
Where-
over
yeah,
there.
that was a gun thing to do.
There we go. All
There
right.
we go. Okay.
Come here. Get on my back.
There we go.
Where is it? It's not.
So-
This is such a
There
drag
you go.
sometimes.
Okay, so
Okay, is
we
it on
need-
my back normally now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to turn on a personal mirror to make sure. All right, cool. So that's another thing that you can do in VR chat. You can have like personal mirrors and stuff like that. That's another like one of those quality of life things we were talking about earlier. So this took me about an hour to finish getting everything set.
I would assume it's a lot of work to just add to your character. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of
Come on.
cool. We need to get Caleb a setup with that, like with a
I need a
handgun.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
need a
needs a
handgun.
handgun. If there's anyone out there listening on the podcast who knows how to animate, who will animate a skin kind of like what I'm looking at right here.
Well,
Or
they
Caleb?
don't need to animate anything.
So this is
We
if
just
you
need
want
a handgun
so
on
here's
that
the cool thing
character.
about
That'd be cool.
Okay, so here's actually the really cool thing about stuff like this. This was a free asset
yeah, in
off
the Unity
of like
store
a Discord that I'm
or
in.
some shit, right?
No, not even in the.
Oh fuck,
Where'd it go?
it's gone now.
Did I turn it off again?
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I
with
did.
all of
Okay.
my guns.
Disappeared.
They just disappear magically, and the police can never find them. It's weird.
Our house just eats bullets.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right. So can everyone see the same thing?
Correct.
I can see a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So this was a free asset, so I could get it off of a Discord server that I'm in where I bought this avatar. Bolt is completely interactive.
Okay.
Can take the magazine out if I want to. It even shows like real bullets and it has real counters for how many bullets would be in a real sniper.
Okay.
Shit.
Have to cock it. You can grab from the front, stabilize. The scope is actually interacted and zeroed into the real world. There is a little button right here which toggles like how much zoom is on the scope itself.
That's hella fancy.
And then obviously
oh, it fires.
interacts with the world. And you can see a real bullet fire and interact with the world.
That's sick.
And then it stays on your back and then obviously can toggle it off. Now there's a whole bunch of assets that you can get, including like there's like miniguns, obviously the sniper. There is actually a gun that I am looking at, or another gun that I'm looking at getting. It is a revolver, of which I can toss it in between each of my hands. I can reload it. It has like a quick fire mode for. Let me get back into my seat and find out where the fuck I am in my room.
Same.
That's like the one painstaking part. Oh. Okay. So, back in my comfort spot. Don't have to worry about, yeah, I'm old. I'm a whopping like 27 years old. I'm getting there. Getting to the old man noise making stage of my life. But,
Bro,
so like I'm looking at
24,
one.
my
It is
back
a
the
revolver.
same thing.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
So yeah, there's you can get revolvers, you can get miniguns if you have like the funding for, if you have money for it. You can have all kinds of things, all varying in interactiveness. You can get like showguns. Like I have a couple different avatars with weapons, but if you want, I think the best way to go about it is for someone to like buy like your own personal avatar, and then you can just add pages of weaponry. Like pages. You could have on one, like I could have on one hand, if I had like the funding for it or the unlimited funding or the file space, I could have an avatar have like 16 guns all attached to this one hand.
Fuck.
And I could turn all of them on if I really wanted to.
Why not?
So like
Fuck
that's
it,
kind of like the way you want to go.
America.
Exactly. But I could have, so there's like a revolver that I'm getting. It has like a quick draw mode where it's just like, all right, if I do a certain hand gesture and then I like put it by the handgun, it'll just quick fire 5 bullets right off of the rip. Comes with like a silencer, comes with a little red dot, comes with a laser. I can throw it in between my hands at will. Catch it, spin it, do all kinds of stuff. It's about $12.
Okay,
So that's like
how
one of those things where,
easily
like-
could we get Caleb a handgun?
Hypothetically, you can get, so the thing is you can get the file for it
Yeah.
pretty easily, and more often than not, as long as the person that made the weapon is a reputable person, they'll actually have a step-by-step guide walking you through every single process.
Right.
My strongest suggestion is find someone who is also an avatar editor or someone who edits avatars
no,
a lot.
we don't, Casey, I literally used to make games in Unity engine. I used to write it when C# was a thing in Unity 3D, and then they completely cut C# on
Okay.
like all platforms almost. It's fucking Java,
Okay, so then you might
but-
actually be pretty good with it. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, so if that's the
I'll-
case, you might actually be the perfect person for it, because then you'll know you'll know all the files. I had zero idea what I was doing, and even so,
Even you could
like, I had
figure out
basically a
what you don't
person-
have prior knowledge.
yeah, like pretty much, like it would have taken me more time because I would have had like to do like a bunch of different like I would have added like so many completely unnecessary steps. I just had someone that knew avatar creation, knew Unity, knew how all that worked,
Yeah.
and he basically helped me speed up the entire process. So if you have someone that like knows what they're doing and knows boundaries, knows how to basically speed up certain processes and steps,
It's pretty easy.
it works. You can
cool.
absolutely do it like yourself though. You can absolutely, it's honestly, it wasn't the most painful process in the world. It was pretty click and drag. It was pretty click and drag, make a couple adjustments, add a couple you needed like for this, I had to add 6 bulls to my character or to my avatar. I just needed to add like 6 extra bulls, all of them with a specific name in regards to that. But it was like
That's
a
pretty sick.
10-page
That's not-
document.
yeah. It's not too many either.
It was a
It's
10-page
fine
document,
to do
step
that.
by step, everything. Yeah, it was a step by, and it gave me a step-by-step guide, so I would have been able to figure it out by myself if I just paid attention. But yeah, so like it's honestly not hard as long as the person that gave you or that you get the file from is reputable, knows what they're doing, gives you a guide in the process, and you'll always know if it's a good thing if they also give you a walkthrough on how to add like whatever you want, whatever asset you want. So that's why I also suggest if you're going to be doing stuff like that, get yourself hooked up to like a reputable VR chat, like avatar creators Discord.
Yeah.
And then make sure you make sure you use all that, because more often than not, I've also found this out in one of the servers that I'm in. They have a specific like room for free avatars. They have another room set for specifically free assets, including the sniper that I just showed off. Like it gives you like a whole bunch of cool and free things, which I strongly suggest anybody to take advantage of, especially if you're like learning how to like program or learning Unity, learning how to like do avatar editing, and the fact that the assets are all free, that just makes it so that it's even easier for like literally anybody to customize their avatar completely to their heart's content and to their whim. And it's just an amazing thing. It's just an amazing thing.
Zoe, get your fucking cat ass up.
Huh?
Zoe,
Oh my God.
what did I fucking tell you about the fucking quota, Zoe? The
jeez.
quota. I told
Oh my
you, Zoe,
God.
one fucking time, and I'm gonna fucking cut that goddamn tail off your goddamn fucking ass, Zoe.
Oh jeez, bro. I had the
What?
weirdest dream.
What? Fucking what?
I dreamed that we were humans.
Humans.
Yeah.
That I have a fucking gun?